stand by for action.
Thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Milner. I am the Unpleasant Blind Guy, and I want to welcome you to part 2 of this episode of the Unpleasant Blind Guy on EDL Radio. Now remember, if you want to contact me with comments, questions, show suggestions, Awesome American suggestions, I'm available at UBG Contact on Twitter, or I can also be found as Dave Milner or Agador, that's Aggedor, on Mumblet, the Tea Party Community, Spreely, Minds, MeWe, or Gab. Now let's begin. We are going to clear out a little bit of what was left from 2019 here. And I think one of the best indicators really of the worldview of the right versus the left, and I'm really hoping that your Prime Minister sticks to what he said in this address, was what happened with Prime Minister Johnson's Christmas address. And I actually have had a little bit of flack already for saying that we were going to play part of this from someone on social media. They said, "Oh, well, this is old news. It's boring." Well, it's not boring when you think about the fact that it's a contrast between the right and the left, which really still hasn't learned its lessons from the election that took place that gave them the biggest drubbing that they've had since 1935. So, Jeff, I think this is still relevant to play. This is only 3 minutes and 46 seconds long. You ready for this?
Yeah, go for it, Doug.
All right. Guys, this is from Breitbart, and you go. You're listening to the English Defense League radio show.
Boris's Christmas message pays tribute to military. Corbyn ruminates on election loss, inequality. By Victoria Friedman on December 24, 2019. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has delivered a Christmas message conveying hope for the year ahead and asked Britons to remember persecuted Christians worldwide who will have to celebrate in secret, saying that is something I want to change. With a piano playing the Christian carol "O Come, All Ye Faithful" in the background, Prime Minister Johnson said in a recorded message shared on social media, "It's that special time of year when, whatever has gone before, we take an opportunity to celebrate all that is good in the world and spend time with our friends and family." Christmas Day is, first and foremost, a celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. It is a day of inestimable importance to billions of Christians the world over. Speaking of Christians who face persecution, he said, "Today of all days I want us to remember those Christians around the world who are facing persecution. For them, Christmas Day will be marked in private, in secret, perhaps even in a prison cell. As Prime Minister, that is something that I want to change. We stand with Christians everywhere, in solitary, and will defend your right to practice your faith." The Prime Minister thanked the NHS staff, police, and public servants working tirelessly this Christmas, and gave a special mention to the community of military personnel. Mr. Johnson, who earlier this week traveled to Estonia to serve Christmas dinner to soldiers stationed at the Tapa military base, said, "I also want to express my personal gratitude to the wonderful members of our armed forces currently on deployment and therefore to their friends, family, and children back home who have an empty chair at the table when they tuck into their Christmas dinner." He concluded, "So as a country, let us reflect on the year and celebrate the good that is to come. Folks, I hope you enjoy the next few days. Try not to have too many arguments with the in-laws or anyone else, and whoever you are, wherever you are, and however you're celebrating, have a very happy Christmas and I'll see you all again in the new year." Corbyn ruminates on election loss, injustice and inequality at Christmas. By contrast, outgoing Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn struck a far more downbeat note. While the socialist name-dropped Jesus Christ early on his message, within the first 20 seconds of his 2.5-minute video, he reflected on his disappointment at having driven his party to its worst election defeat since 1935. "This has been a difficult year for many of us. We didn't succeed in delivering the change that so many people so desperately need. But Christmas is a chance to listen, reflect, and remember all the things that bind us together. Our compassion, our determination to tackle injustice, and our hope for a better world. Whereas Johnson sought to encourage Britons to feel good and look forward to a positive new year, Corbyn drew attention to the scale of injustice and inequality which he said is in very plain sight at Christmas. While Corbyn praised those who worked in food banks and emergency shelters helping vulnerable people at this time of year, he painted a picture of materialist Britons rushing home often loaded with shopping bags, seeing those who have no homes with no hope beside them, and continued that adverts with mouth-watering Christmas meals should remind us that we know that many children are hungry. Boris Johnson won the biggest Conservative majority since Margaret Thatcher was returned to power in 1987, in part after the Prime Minister had broken through the Red Wall, the northern working-class heartlands which the metropolitan elite and Labour had neglected.
And there you go. Welcome back.
Well, there you go. I mean, the contrast between, a Conservative Prime Minister, what Boris said there about Christianity, and the way that he was speaking was, I think that would have touched everybody's heart and soul with what he said. Corbyn, well, my goodness me, you can taste the defeat in him, can't you? You can smell the defeat with Corbyn. He's done the worst he possibly could do for a Labour Party since 1935. How will you ever live that down? He'll never live it down, but he still wants to be, the shadow leader, what they call it, and he don't want to give it up until the next election. I think he should just be kicked out. I mean, why don't you just kick him out? They don't need him. Look, he's done. He's done. But then again, I mean, we know how anti-Semitic the Labour Party is, and it proves it with him being involved in it. So it had to come down. It was brought down really hard. It was, in fact, it was pummeled into the ground, wasn't it, Dave? I mean, I knew it was a foregone conclusion before the end of the the things are being closed, the voting booths are being closed, Dave. I knew it was going to be devastating. I just knew it was for them. And did it make us happy, Dave? Did it? Oh, my goodness me. We was over the moon because it had to come about. That was the rest of the 17.4 million people saying, enough, get in there, get that Brexit done, Bobo. And that was what happened, Dave. That was it. People come to the voting booths. It was, in fact, it was a big turnout at the time as well. It was bigger than they'd seen for years, like. So it goes to show you how much Brexit means to the people and what it has always meant to the great people of this country. And common sense, in the end, did prevail, didn't it, Dave? That's what happened. It's common sense. We all say common sense in the end's got to prevail. Otherwise, madness reigns. Back to you, Dave.
No, thanks, Jeff. Yeah, well, I mean, a thing I'd like to ask of Jeremy Corbyn, if I could, would be, you talk about people rushing home with their bags and boxes and things that they bought for Christmas and whatnot, and ignoring the people on the street and everything. How much of your money, your personal money, have you ever given to some of these veterans that don't have a home? All right, a lot of these lefties, Jeff, a lot of these lefty rich people, have millions of pounds in the UK, millions of dollars here in the United States. And what do they give personally for these people? What part of their money do they give personally for that? You know what? Not much. There's been study after study that have shown that people on the right tend to give charitably more a larger percentage of their income than people on the left. I mean, take a look at J.K. Rowling, somebody who got in trouble over the holidays, too. She has more than one mansion, not more than one house, more than one mansion, one of them with 18 spare bedrooms. She could have put up 18 veterans, okay? She could have done that. But did she? No, of course not. No. But at the same time, she wants the UK to bring in a whole bunch of quote-unquote refugees, people who have no skills, no intention to assimilate to the culture of the people of the United Kingdom, and all of that. It's talking out of your one side of your mouth and not willing to step up and do the right thing.
She's talking like that, then what people should do was, if she wants all those people, then her mansion should be opened up for them. It should be made compulsory that she takes in all those refugees that she said that we could be giving homes to. She's got the room and the space. Put your money where your mouth is rolling. You're rolling in it or rolling in it. Oh, there's a pun there. So, of course,
nice.
All this about taking in people. There you go. You take them in, you feed them, and you got the money to do it. It's not as if you've not got much money. You're rolling in it. So, but people like her, who doesn't really care about soldiers and veterans and all that, she's a lefty with lefty views, and she is who she is. But do we expect any different, Dave, from them? And I mean, what Ricky Gervais done with the Holly Weird lefties was, even though he's a lefty himself, I was amazed, Dave. I was amazed. But it was classic. And it's people like Rowley, people like you, Rowley, that he was pointing his finger to all. So, yeah. Sorry, Dave, I just had, because we're all still laughing about it, man. It's they'll never forget that. You even see, what's his name? A couple of them were in tears over it. They were in tears over it. It was unbelievable. Ruined my night, things like that was being said. And I thought it was pure classic. I bet the numbers went up when Ricky Gervais did that. I bet it's the first time they've had their numbers a bit higher than what they normally are. So it's normally rock bottom, isn't it, Dan? But anyway, back to you, mate. I'm letting my thing run away here, can't I?
Well, we will get to that Ricky Gervais thing in a bit. I mean, it's been widely played, but we'll play it on here just because it's so good and so funny. But we do have a little bit more to clear out from last year, of course. And I think this is a good one here. Now, I'm not going to play this. I didn't put it into play, but I did. Before I get into that, I just want to say that I hope and the administration of Prime Minister Johnson should understand that the people are watching. So if he wants to make a commitment to the military in the UK and to persecuted Christians, that's a great thing. Now let's see him follow through. Good words. Now let's see him follow through. And I think that's what the people are going to be wanting him to do. So anyone happens to be listening from that quarter, listen, because that's why I said, Jeff, and why you agreed, that this is the year for Patriots. There's still a lot of work to do getting power, but now that power has to be turned to good use. And we are just one place, places like our podcast, places like Based Amy, places like Sunday Long Live Radio.
There's still a persecution of patriots. There's still a persecution of patriots going on in the country. And it's about time that was put a stop to. Because all people just like me, and people like you, Dave, and other people, we love our country. We love the people. We just want to do what's right for our country. When we speak out about it, they want to throw us in prison over it for speaking out. That time come to an end. That time of subjection and a bit oppression and oppression come to an end. We're fed up with it. We want to be able to speak. Or we're fed up with you trying to stop us speaking out on things that's so important, things that's happening in this country. Why shouldn't we speak out? It is our country. It is our country. We love our country. Why shouldn't we speak out of what's going on? And when we do, or when we object to one of the politicians and actually confront them, we're thrown into prison. I think it's wrong. They're nothing special. They're elected from the people. And people totally objected to her, and she lost her seat. People just don't like her. She's a horrible person. Subaru, you're done. But it's people like them that people like us don't want to vote for people like them, do we, Dave?
Well, no, we don't, and that's part of what I was talking about. There's a lot of work that needs to be done now that the reins of power are in the hands of conservatives. They need to prove that they are conservatives, and yes, you're right, Jeff. You're completely right. Political correctness is one of the things that has to go. And no, that doesn't mean hurting people who have a skin color that's different or whatever. No, that does not mean that. But it means exactly what Jeff is talking about. The bringing back of free speech. And okay, if it upsets somebody, let them block their ears. Okay, they can stick their fingers in their ears and go la 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 until it's done. Okay, because all it is words, and sometimes it's truth. Like when they say that the Mohammedan prophet Muhammad was a pedophile. That's truth. Okay, that's not hate speech. That's truth. It's in the Quran.
It's true, but it's factual, Dave. That's the thing about it. It's true. Whether it upsets them, and they call it a religious thing, and they're being upset for it, you're upsetting their religious thing. It's true and factual. That's it. It's in their books. It's in their books,
right,
isn't it, Dave? So why should we comment on it?
Yeah, I mean, and why should people be thrown in prison for it? I mean, okay, here's the solution, guys. If you're offended by something somebody else says, okay, be an adult about it, okay? Don't act like a 5-year-old and have a tantrum. If you disagree with it, you've got plenty of platforms out there. You can say you disagree with it, okay? But that doesn't mean that, morally speaking, only one side of things has the right to speak and the other one has to shut up. And so, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the UK and in the United States. Guys in the UK, don't think that, oh, well, here's this American trying to tell us how to run things. Guys, my country is all screwed up, okay? And we have a lot of work to do on my side of the park.
Dave. That's it. It's not about
we are.
Americans trying to tell us what to do. We're in the same boat together on the politics side of things. No difference, mate. We're in it together.
That we are, Jeff. And you know, what has happened, I have to tell you guys, since I started working with Jeff, over 7 years ago now, it's a long time now, boy, isn't it? Oh, dear. Yeah, it is. When I first started, I was telling people in the States, look, guys, I'm here because I'm trying to warn you. This will come to the United States. And guess what? Now it's in our face. Okay, we've got Rashida Tlaib and Ilham Omar.
Trying to warn the people. Tommy Robinson come over your country and trying to warn you way back way. And look what happened to him. Tommy Robinson come over to the United States and tried to warn you way back, quite a few years ago. And he done it. Basically, he broke the law because he come under with, he come under someone else's passport. So, of course, he went to prison over it. But he knew he had to do it, whether he went to prison over it or not, because what was happening over here, he didn't want to see the same issues sort of flare up in the United States. So I'll always say that Tommy did it, and I'm still behind what Tommy did. You know, it was the right thing to do. But as you say, Dave, we've been talking about it for years, haven't we? And you've been with me many years, but a lot of people got their eyes open now, Dave. That's one thing that we have done. We've opened their eyes up, haven't we? That's the thing.
That's right, Jeff. And I just have to say, you know, even though the EDL may be reduced in numbers and the left is crowing over it, they started something, and it's turned into a worldwide movement. And as I was saying, Jeff, we do have our problems here in the United States. I mean, I warned, and so did Tommy Robinson and others over here, that the same things that you guys have going on in the UK would hit the United States. And then we've got Rashida Tlaib, we've got Ilham Omar, both of them in our Congress, making all sorts of trouble in positions of security, which just sends a chill up my spine. You have Justin Amash, who is the Attorney General in Michigan now, and that means that that'll guarantee that President Trump will not get Michigan in the election. In other words, you have Mohammedans placing themselves in places of power in the United States. I said this in my show. The last election, there were around 90 Mohammedans that ran for office in the United States, and they didn't all win, but that number ran in the United States. So my brothers and sisters in the UK, just as Jeff says, we're in this boat together, and we join the people of France and the Scandinavian countries and Italy and again Australia, the Pacific nations, nations in Asia, all these nations where Islam is trying to encroach and grab power, and we're trying to say no to that. And yes, to a world where our children do not have to wind up being afraid. So that really is where we're coming from.
That's what it all comes down to, Dave, isn't it? It's not about me. It's not about you, Dave. It is about the future. It's about children. It's about our grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and the future generations. My goodness me, someone's got to speak out. That's what we've been doing for many years, me and you, and other people who's joined with us and come along with us and do what we've been doing for all these years. Now, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this year is 11 years of when the birth of the EDL came about. So this year is the 11th anniversary of the EDL. And guess what? Okay, there might not be so many of us, but we've made such a... look what we've achieved. We've got... we even had Buddhist EDL, Buddhist, defence leagues, right across the globe, a phenomenon. And it'll always be a phenomenon. Might not be so many of us. We're still here. I'm still here. Dave's still here. We're EDL. We'll always be EDL, me and Dave. I'm not going nowhere. I'm here. I'm on a mission. I'm on a crusade. It's wind them up. I'm on a crusade, ladies and gentlemen. This is my crusade. And it's my destiny. This is my destiny. It always has been my destiny. I love this organisation. I love the people that's involved in it. Everybody that I've met over the years, you couldn't meet better people. All this crap about thugs, this, that and the other, these were good people. Oh, good people. So, take it from me. I mean, guys, you listen to me. You listen to me week in, week out. I'm not a thug. You know what I mean? I'm just me. I'm a patriot, and I love my country. And I love to see my country progress or get better and, a future. Yeah, back to you, Dave. No, I just... sometimes you've got to say what you've got to say, what's in your heart, haven't you, Dave? You've got to say what's there.
Oh, yeah, definitely, Jeff. And right now what's in my heart to say to you, brother, in the struggle is, you think you might want to call back in? It's about 21 after the hour.
Okay, would you like? Ladies and gentlemen, that's why Dave makes me laugh. He says things that he just gets me rolling up laughing. Dave, thanks for giving me an heads up in that way that you do things. God bless you, bro.
All right.
Heads up. I'll give a call back then, mate. Cheers,
all right.
Pal.
And sure. And while you do that, Jeff, I'll just remind listeners to on the Unpleasant Blind Guy page at Spreaker.com, where this show is being repeated right now, and then the first part of February. So these programs are about a little bit older, but hey, it's a good chance to catch up if you missed them. Okay, and my regular show times, by the way, for those to pop up are 1 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States, Monday through Friday, and at midnight Eastern in the United States on a Saturday. And that is 6 p.m. Monday through Friday in the UK, and 5 a.m. on a Saturday in the UK. So please check those out. And, of course, we are associated with the SHR Media Network, the Western Free Radio Network, and we're going to be working on being associated with the Exceptional Conservative Network here pretty soon. So, guys, look for some possible changes coming soon. And, again, for those of you listening on the Unpleasant Blind Guy page, we do this show live at 8:30 p.m. in the UK on Thursdays and Sundays, and that's 3:30 p.m. Eastern in the United States on those days. So come in here and check out our chat room and that kind of thing, and join us for the live experience. But Jeff, and that is it for this time. Next time, Part 3. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and may your God go with you. Goodbye. The Unpleasant Blind Guy is copyright 2020. Anno Domini. Now for Dave's Canes. Extras that help you navigate the new media world.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
From a public locker inside a dilapidated Long Island rail station comes a show designed to piss off liberals using truth, facts, and ridicule. The Lid Radio Show, featuring the conservative voice from the People's Republic of New York, the Lid himself, Jeff Dunitz. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Network. Go to shrmedia.com. At Lid Radio, we fight for the truth, justice, and a good kosher T-bone. If you don't listen, Hillary Clinton might sneak into your bedroom in her housecoat late at night and blame you for her election loss. It's the Lid Radio Show with Jeff Dunitz.
This is Shannon Wright of The Right Way with Shannon and Mike in the AM. Mike's not here, so I gotta talk fast. You gotta join us. Fall season. Getting ready to start up with a whole bunch of new stuff. News and food and politics and sports and entertainment and a whole bunch of stuff. But wait, Mike's coming. I gotta go. Remember, Shannon and Mike in the AM on SHR Media, Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. Make sure you tune in.
Featuring right thinking from a left brain and doing the job the American maggots won't. BZ is fundamentally changing America, one diaper at a time. Just when safety pin manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, where the speech is free, but the drinks are not. The Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon can be heard every Tuesday and Thursday night, commencing at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific, where pushback is a requisite art form in and of itself. Let your ossicles be truly liberated when you listen to the Bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, only on SHR Media Network. No ferrets were harmed in the making of this ad.
Join me, Jack Alexander, for the Jack Alexander Experiment podcast, as I take a unique outsider's look at the issues affecting the USA. I fearlessly take on the issues that everyone else is too scared to touch. The Jack Alexander Experiment podcast is available wherever good podcasts can be found, like Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcast. The Jack Alexander Experiment, because it's not a matter of left versus right, it's a matter of right versus wrong.
It's your business diva here, Melanie Collette. I am inviting you to a front row seat as I discuss some of the most intriguing details of wealth and finance with today's movers and shakers in the world of business. Listen in and discover financial truths on a global, domestic, and household scale. Uncover topics that will impact your wallet today and in the future. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio. You can't afford to miss it.
Featuring the effervescent contrarian Sackheads Clint, plus the unrestrained bulbosity of BZ, the Sackheads Against Tyranny is a real chat show. Doubling your late-night conservative talk show pleasure with double the hosts, you can listen every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Please note, some contents may have settled during shipping. Member FDIC, batteries not included, warranty void in Montenegro.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.